Please. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. The Training Committee of Egyptian Society for Medical Education Egypt welcome you all in our monthly webinar. I'm Hala Agina, Professor of Pathology, Banha University, and board member and the rapporteur of Egyptian Society for Medical Education Training Committee. Under the patronage of Professor Wagdi Talat, President of Egyptian Society for Medical Education, and Professor Hamdi Hussein, President of Luxor University, it's an honor to have this special event, Luxor Pre-Conference Webinar, entitled Empowering Medical Professionals, Integrating Entrepreneurship into the Curriculum. This will be presented by Dr. Sadia Yassin. Dr. Sadia is founding member and CEO of the Medical Education. She is a former director of medical education at Rashid Latif Medical College, and she is an associate editor for the Journal of Rashid Latif Medical College, Pakistan. Before we begin, I'd like to express our thanks and our grateful to Professor Hamdi Hussein and Professor Wagdi Talat for giving us this opportunity. And special thanks to our colleagues in the training committee for arranging this webinar. Dr. Mariam Asad, Dr. Nancy Hussein, Dr. Hind Abu Al-Ata, and also Mr. Shadi. Inshallah, we are looking forward to have an exciting and innovative webinar. Dr. Sadia, it's your floor. Professor Wagdi and Professor Hamdi, would you like to have any words before Dr. Sadia start her webinar?
Thank you, Dr. Hala. I would like to welcome Professor Hamdi Hussein, the president of this international conference. And I would like to formally welcome Dr. Sadia as well, and to thank her for this quite interesting theme of her webinar. We are all looking forward to hear what you're going to say, Dr. Sadia, in your webinar. And we are all ears now. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Sadia, it's Professor Hamdi, would you like to say some words?
I just thanks for Dr. Saib for her introduction in our international conference, and many thanks to Professor Wajdi for allow us to hear to the amazing professor in this meeting. Thank you very much and welcome in Luxor, inshallah.
Thanks for you, Doctor. Dr. Sadia, it's your floor. You can start now.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum from Pakistan. This is formal Assalamu alaikum to all of the colleagues at Egypt, and I hope you all are fine. And thank you so much, Dr. Hala, for kind introduction, and I'm really humbled. I'm really excited about this webinar on empowering healthcare professionals, integrating entrepreneurship into medicine. And I'm really excited to interact with all of the esteemed faculty members who are really ready to learn. I extend my sincere gratitude to Professor Hamdi and Professor Talat and Egyptian Society of Medical Education and all the colleagues in management of this webinar for extending this opportunity to me about this pre-conference Luxor webinar. So before, I think can I share my screen with your permission, Dr. Hala?
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
I am disabled right now to share my screen. Can you give me some rights to share my screen?
Yeah, sure. Ustaz Shadi? دكتورة نانسي معايا؟
مع حضرتك يا دكتورة هالة. حاضر
طيب
لحظة واحدة.
انت كو-هوست، معلش خليها
حاضر
كو-هوست هي
لحظة واحدة.
عشان تشير سكرين.
Doctor, you are the host now. You can make her the host, Dr. Sadia.
اوكي. اوكي.
Dr. Sadia, you are the host now. You can share your screen.
Sir, I'm unable to share my screen because
دكتور نانسي انا خليتك الهوست ناو. دكتور نانسي. نانسي.
تمام يا دكتورة هالة لحظة واحدة.
اوكي علشان انا بحاول ادخلها مش بتاع. انا خليتك الهوست.
Here you go. Dr. Sadia, you are the
You
host.
can
yeah,
share?
I can
Yes.
share it now. Yeah, thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's,
Yes.
Is it visible clearly?
Yes.
Very
it
clear.
is.
Okay, thank you so much. So before diving to the session, we will map out the learning objectives of today's webinars. The first learning objective is to introduction to entrepreneurship in medicine. In this learning objective, we shall unfold the story how entrepreneurship intersected with healthcare industry. Next learning objective is identifying the opportunities in healthcare. In this learning objective, we will inshallah explore, we will hunt the all endless possibilities and opportunities of entrepreneurship in landscape of healthcare industry. Third objective of our webinar will be developing an entrepreneurial mindset. Basically, in this learning objective, we shall explore how we can nurture the seed of entrepreneurship in our young graduate and our medical students. This can be done by integrating medical education with entrepreneurship. So, what a good idea can be a good idea if it just remains an idea. If we are not shaping into this idea into some practical solution. So in this learning objective, we will roll up our sleeves and we will get into the nitty-gritty of practical implementation strategies of entrepreneurship. And here we can shape our idea of a successful medical graduate as an entrepreneur into real life. And in the end, for the motivation, we shall discuss the case studies and success stories. So, there is a picture. As a pivot of our next discussion, I am displaying this picture. Before discussing this picture, I will disclose a disclaimer that this is an AI generated picture, and this picture has nothing to do with race, some religion or sect. I just want to see, and I would love your interpretation about this picture, what this image evoked in your mind. Can you please share in chat box what this image evoked in your mind? Can you please share something what evoked in your mind? Can you tell in chat box, or you can raise your hand. You can talk to me. Power of many. Okay, fine. Anyone else? Power of money. Great. If you fail to plan, you will be someone else plan. That's an innovative answer. Okay, what I have given a prompt to artificial intelligence, DALE-E, basically role of healthcare professional in our economy. Great. Okay, I gave a prompt to artificial intelligence that make a man who is sitting on a throne and a pile of dollars beneath him, and the pile is collected by the doctors, healthcare professionals. Basically, this picture is depicting what is happening currently with health sector, with the healthcare professional all over the world globally. Basically, they are working for the organization, for the corporate system, they are feeding them, but in the end what they are getting, they are overburdened, they are less paid, they are prone to burnout, but they are getting nothing in the end. I'm amazed by your answers, what you have written in the chat box. Meanwhile, I'm admitting the people that's maybe a little interruption here. So let's bring this dry slide into life. This is a bookish sort of definition. Just imagine that you are walking in a vibrant market of Kahira, and you came across so many stalls. Some of the every stall has to showcase some opportunities. Some stalls are showing their products, some are selling their services. Basically, this is the essence of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is not a solo journey. Basically, it's a live process in which the entrepreneurs find the opportunity, they spot the opportunity, and they showcase that opportunity. Can I ask a question that in your life, you encountered some light bulb moment where you have thought about yourself that you can be an entrepreneur, or you just provide the service? I need the session to be little interactive. I tried to make it interactive by asking some question. You can write in chat box. Have you ever had a light bulb moment in your life, some thought-provoking moment in your life to think about yourself as entrepreneur, or you are just fond of providing the service? Okay, no one wrote anything in chat box, so let's move forward. I have chosen this the definition, and every definition, everything I have wrote in this presentation, that is by proper reference. So the definition of entrepreneurship is a process that involves individuals or groups, entrepreneurs seizing commercial opportunities. I highlighted the word commercial opportunities with red color, either by introducing new products or process to the market, or by enhancing existing goods or services or production methods. This definition tells us where we are deficient. I think we always focus on providing our services. We never thought about goods or products, or some innovative ideas. We are always thinking about the service provision. So this is the point where I want to remove the clouds in our mind and see the opportunities that we can grab in our day-to-day life. Some problem with my camera. I'm really sorry. I'm apologetic for the problem. So who can be a medical entrepreneur, or what is medical entrepreneurship? Medical entrepreneurship is better defined than it is described. It is ability of medical professionals to create new global business prospects in response to global requirements, taste, demands, and changes in medicine, biotechnology, healthcare services, and medical innovation, and social entrepreneurship. Basically, what we see that business is basically meeting all those needs that people require from you globally. All those things that people need, you can meet those requirements, you can be a successful entrepreneur. So who can be an entrepreneur? What are the qualities for a person to be a good entrepreneur? Basically, innovation sets the stage for entrepreneurship. The person who has innovation, who find the gap, who recognize the opportunity, he or she can be a good entrepreneur. And there is a quote that either you take risk or you just regret. So the risk taker, or the person who can manage the risk, he can be an entrepreneur. And there lies a difference between doer and dreamer. The doer just acts upon, and dreamer just decide that he or she will act in future. So the one who just acts upon, he can be a good entrepreneur, and who just plan to act, he is a dreamer, he is not doer. The person who can be entrepreneur, he uses the resources judicially and efficiently and adds value to the healthcare sector in a efficient way. So all these qualities, a person who embodies all these qualities is a entrepreneur or medical entrepreneur. So let's make the discussion in little interesting. I have chosen few pictures and few industries that intersect with healthcare. If you talk about telemedicine, we all have witnessed a pandemic era of COVID-19 few years back, that everything was online and everything belonged to telemedicine. So let's trace back the history of telemedicine, that when it started. Telemedicine first started in 1960 in Norfolk Institute of Psychiatry, where they set the first television line for online consultation. So that marked the first project of telemedicine in USA. So if you talk about the artificial intelligence, now it is on boom. In November 1922, OpenAI just launched ChatGPT, and every one of us is familiar with ChatGPT and artificial intelligence. The same way is the wearable devices. In telemedicine, you can see that information technology is intersecting with mobile technology and healthcare industry. In artificial intelligence and healthcare sector, both are intersecting with each other. Now OpenAI has started a video generating software named as Sora. Sora can help out us in simulated medical education in coming future. So here is the point where is the fusion of two sector, healthcare and artificial intelligence. So if you talk about the wearable devices, Mr. Holter started the first wearable device. We know Holter monitor. In Holter monitor, you can see the merge and fusion of mechanical technology along with the healthcare sector. And there is an example of MRI, where a biomedical engineer has devised a device known as magnetic resonance imaging machine that is utilized by radiology. So these are the examples where healthcare is intersecting with entrepreneurship. Why I am talking again and again, we are all here to discuss about entrepreneurship. In the era of pandemic, a record of 23.1 billion was raised by 128 therapeutic pharma industries. Basically, this is the report that I'm not telling you. This is the report that is released by World Economic Forum. I have provided the reference of World Economic Forum. The report was released in January 2023. That this is a very hefty amount, $23.1 billion that were raised by pharmaceutical companies. But what healthcare professional got at that time? Compromised health, low wages, less compensation, overburden, burnout, and even deaths. They got nothing from the COVID. They just got what disappointed them. And what the entrepreneurs or healthcare market industries, the people who were involved in the business, what they got $23.1 billion. So what are the opportunities where we can find the gaps, where we lack, where we are not trying to find the possible opportunities to have an idea of entrepreneurship? First of the opportunity is an example of cross-industry collaboration. Imagine you are an ENT surgeon. How you can collaborate with a pharmaceutical company. You can simply do a clinical trial on the mode of drug delivery, which one is the best. Either it is a nasal spray or a oral medicine that does the best. You can collaborate with pharmaceutical company in this research and digitalization and big data blockchain. Now this is the era of telemedicine. You can collaborate with some software house and you can start a online application that help the patients to get an online consultation, and you can help the hospitals to to maintain the record of the patient. You have heard about the electronic medical record. In Pakistan, it is not more prevalent, but all over the world it is prevalent. You can collaborate with some software house too of big data or blockchain or digitalization of the health. These are all the sectors where you can find the opportunities of entrepreneurship. The other thing that I would like to discuss is the production market. We never think about the production, we just focus on the service provision. That's the point where we lack. People often want to pay for the product rather than for the service. In Pakistan, there is a practice that the bride spends hundreds of the dollar on her bridal dress, but when it comes about the health, the patient is not willing to pay for the amount of a operation. So they prefer to have a product rather than the service. So in production market, doctors can collaborate in this way that there are so many things that are provided in hospital, talking about the surgical instrument from the disposable things and all other things that a surgeon or a physician need at her room that can be provided by a doctor, but they never thought about these things. These are all things, these things are thought or they were considered by all those who are not healthcare professionals. Even you see the bidder, the vendor, the contractor, they are not doctors, they are other people, they are non-doctors basically. So in service industry, you can provide online consultation. I have conducted a survey on internet and I found that many of the medical tourism apps, they were owned by non-medics. They were not doctor. The healthcare professional never think about these opportunities. They don't see that medical tourism and another option, another opportunity to grab the attention of the patients all of the world. Healthcare marketing. If we talk about healthcare marketing, what it can be shaped in a valuable entity if the marketing is done by some person who is a healthcare professional. Often we take services from the person who just know the marketing. If you talk about the other industries, that's fine, but if you are trying to make a post of something, some medical disease or awareness post, how can you sure that the person who is not a medical professional, he or she can be a better healthcare marketer than a person who is a doctor who knows the medical profession as well as he knows the healthcare marketing. If this sector is shaped by the person who is healthcare professional, healthcare marketing will be in some other innovative form. Next is the journalism. We never thought about journalism. It can be a business in ethical perspective. If we are starting, we're going to initiate a journal for an organization, for an institute. What if we start a journal for by ourselves? What if we think about this opportunity that we can start it? There is nothing to do with this. There are some SOPs and you can start it, but keeping the profession in integrity and maintaining all the professional and ethical SOPs, you can start your own journal. You can collaborate healthcare industry with artificial intelligence. And one thing I want to point out is project management. All the hospitals who are developed, who are constructed, they are the people who are not healthcare professional. And after that, the hospitals are many times managed by the persons who know the project management. And often they are not healthcare professional. How a person can know about the needs of healthcare professional if he or she is not a healthcare professional? What a person can see a surgeon or a physician needs in her room when the hospital is established and when the hospital is running. So project management is another niche where the healthcare sector, the healthcare professionals can work. They can think about this niche as well. I have to admit the people meanwhile. That's why I'm a little distracted from the webinar. Research market. What can do in you people in research market? I have already discussed about that you can conduct clinical trials to collaborate with the cross industry markets or in cross industry collaboration, and you can make health research academies. You can provide online consultation to the trainees or the novice people who want to have consultation regarding research. So is this picture visible for all? This is a really success story and really an amazing thing that really surprised myself even. I plan to share it with you. This is a journal. Its name is Pakistan Journal of Medical Sciences. And this journal is highest impact factors journal in medical profession in Pakistan. Have you heard about this journal? Can you tell me in chat box? No one, no. Okay, you can search it. This is an impact factor journal, and the person I have shown in this slide, the picture of the person I have shown in this slide, his name is Mr. Shaukat Javed. And you know that he was merely a reporter in a media house, and he had a vision at that time in 1980s that what could be a journal. So he started his own journal. The name of journal is Pakistan Journal of Medical Sciences, and he's very upright person. He strived for it. Being a reporter, you know what is the life of a reporter and how much he gets. So at that time he had a vision that he should start a journal. He initiated a project that was novice at that time in 1970s, but he was very ethical, being professional, and within the boundaries of professionalism. He kept on going until the day came that now it's very difficult for a novice researcher or even an excelled researcher to get the research published in his journal, because there is so much influx of publication in his journal. So we never thought about these things. I'm surprised that all these opportunities of entrepreneurship, they are thought and grabbed by other peoples who are not medical professionals. So this was a surprising story for me as well. So I thought I should share it with you. There is a picture in upper right corner near the bulb. You can see that people are getting some goods and some products in exchange of money. And in the left upper corner, you can see that the arrow is showing the rise in economic growth. Both of these pictures are made by artificial intelligence. The purpose of this picture was to show that where we people do lack, that we are not so much in product, rather we are in service industry. And in this picture, people like to they prefer sometime product rather than service. So why we need entrepreneurship in healthcare? Entrepreneurship drives economic growth through job creation, innovation, and competition. By establishing the businesses, introducing new products, services, and stimulating economic activity, entrepreneur benefits society. Promoting entrepreneurship is vital for sustainable growth, fostering innovation, and expanding the business sector. This transforms the economies and improve lives and enhances overall prosperity. You know, if you are working in an organization, you are just solely dependent on them for your livelihood, for your earning. But if you are an entrepreneur, you not only you are busy in some job, but the time you spared from that organization, you can do something for yourself. You are totally not dependent on an organization for your livelihood. This is a picture, a snapshot of a article, A Cry for Fair Compensation, the Struggle of Young Doctors in Pakistan. I don't know much about the Egyptian dynamics at Egypt, but a Pakistani medical student has to pay $50,000 in private sector to acquire his degree, his or her degree. So what he gets as his first pay when he started, when he or she start their journey as house officer, will you believe that he or she gets only $166 per month? They pay $50,000 during their tenure while acquiring this medical degree, $50,000, and they get $166 per month salary. And he or she has to struggle for at least 25 years to only get back what he or she has invested in the degree, in acquiring the degree. So there is a dilemma, there is a big difference between what he or she is getting after acquiring the degree and what she or he is investing in the degree. So so there is a time that he or she must need some financial freedom to have financial stability. I came across a very interesting meta-analysis that I found published in BMJ. The meta-analysis was on the depression among healthcare workers, and the study was conducted in Eastern Mediterranean region. It was systematic review and meta-analysis, and luckily I found some statistics about Pakistan as well as in Egypt. This Eastern Mediterranean region study comprised of many countries, including even Palestine and Iraq, Iran, Pakistan, as well as Egypt. So what they got from this study, they included 108 primary studies for this meta-analysis on depression, and they came out that more than 1/3 of healthcare workers suffered from depressive symptoms. And among all these healthcare workers, Egypt demonstrated the highest depression prevalence with more than 50% reporting depressive symptoms. And then what was the reason? One of the reason was low compensation. The other were heavy workload and severe staffing shortage. So basically, there was no financial freedom for those people. Definitely, you have, if you are having financial instability, then you are not at peace of mind. So this was a very wonderful study. I found it. I shared the link of the study as well. I entered a prompt of to DALL-E to make a balanced picture of a doctor who is striving to make a balance between his ethical responsibilities and his earning, because we are according to Hippocratic Oath, according to our religion, we are bound to be ethical as a human being and as well as a doctor. So DALL-E made this picture. I explored the description of this picture, and description of picture is that in cosmic expanse where ethics meet eternity, our doctor balances the heart of humanity. Basically, this red color heart is heart of humanity with the weight of wealth. The other side of this balance shows the dollar that depicts the wealth linked by the DNA of life's choices, surrounding by the wisdom of ages. They have shown the wisdom of ages by these people who are sitting around there, this balance and medicine. He reminds us that in the vastness of the universe, our most significant treasures are the decisions we make and the care we share. So we should not forget the integrity in our medical profession while being entrepreneur. Our next, what are the hurdles that we can face during entrepreneurial ventures or entrepreneurial endeavors? First of them is limited entrepreneurship knowledge. I developed a tool to explore, to assess the knowledge, attitude, and perception of junior doctors of Pakistan. And to my surprise, 68% of them, they don't know the meaning of entrepreneurship. What is the meaning of entrepreneurship? They were trained in a way to think about a job just after getting their graduation, and they never thought about their own clinic, and they never knew about the word entrepreneurship. So one of the hurdles or challenge that can be, is there anything to say? I think some mic of some person is on. Please mute them.
Hadil, would you mute please all microphones of the participants?
Thank you so much, Dr. Talat, Professor Talat. Next is gender-related barriers. Some of the societies are misogynist. Maybe they don't foster the concept of entrepreneurship in for the females. Definitely, financial challenges are here. You don't find the funding agencies, or you don't have some funds to initiate for your own startup or your own entrepreneurial ventures. Some state restrictive policies can be challenging, and the cumbersome administrative procedure, text legislation, because we don't know much more about the text legislations. So political instability all over the world. Many this year, almost I think 50% of the countries, the elections were ongoing in Pakistan as well. The process of electoral process was ongoing last month. Political instability and corruption is another one of the biggest challenge. Actually, we never thought about involving ourselves in political processes. That's why the person who are non-technical, they are just hijacking the healthcare system. I don't know about Egypt much more, but in Pakistan, the healthcare system is totally hijacked by all those people who don't know the basics of health. They are non-technical. So that can be a challenging for a health professional entrepreneur. Some trade barriers like what happened in COVID time, lack of skilled workforce, any inefficient judicial system. These are some of the challenges that a person can face while starting an entrepreneurial venture. So one of the learning objective was developing an entrepreneurial mindset. How can we develop an entrepreneurial mindset? The students, when they come into a medical school, they are very receptive. They grab what you say. We are role model for them. They just engrave everything in their mind, what we say, what we tell them to do, what we train them to do. So this is the time when we can integrate, when we can engrave the entrepreneurship in their mind, when we can cultivate an entrepreneurial mindset in these students. So here comes the theory, where we can relate theory into the practice. J. Schumpeter was a person who just made very interesting theory. He said that if a person has a psychological trait of innovation or taking risk, he or she can be a good entrepreneur. So according to his theory, the entrepreneurs emerges because of individuals having certain psychological elements like willpower, self-intuitions, tolerance, capacity. The entrepreneur is a person who has creative nature. Other theory that I found relevant was Maslow's need of hierarchy theory. Many of I think that this is very common theory, and maybe you have heard it earlier, that this theory has 5 models and 5 stages. Basically, the first the 3 stages, 4 stages are related to the need, and the top level is related with the growth. So I have included all these steps, but all these hierarchies, but the second hierarchy is important, where the person needs safety, protection from elements, security, order, law, financial stability, and freedom from fear. This is the stage where a person finds that if he or she is deficient in finances or facing financial instability, then there is an urge to him that he should start something like that, who can financially stable the person. So Maslow's need of hierarchy, the second tier tells us about the safety need, about the financial stability desire of a person. So how can we integrate entrepreneurship in medical education? At this perspective, I would like to discuss that you may have heard about the types of curriculum. One is horizontal curriculum and the other is vertical curriculum. In our setup, in our some of the universities in Pakistan who have started entrepreneurship integration into medical education, they preferred a vertical integration, and they run a parallel longitudinal module including the content of entrepreneurship, because it gives the freedom that we can take the entrepreneurship side by side from the basics of the professional years to the end of the professional year. So horizontal curriculum doesn't give us that freedom. We can either inculcate or integrate the curriculum in horizontal in the preclinical year or clinical year. So that's not about the type of curriculum that starts from the simple cognition to the complex cognition. So in Pakistan, we usually prefer to have a longitudinal module in vertical integration. I think the many models for curriculum development are there, but I would discuss about the Kern's model. This is very simple model about implementation and developing a curriculum. So there are 6 steps. The first step is identifying the problem and general need assessment. The second is targeted need assessment. Third is goals and objective. Fourth is educational strategies. Fifth is implementation, and sixth one is evaluation and feedback. We will go through all these steps one by one. Some Saudi medical.
Dr. Sadia, aren't these matching the 6 steps of curriculum development? Starting
Yes,
with,
sir,
right?
these are the steps that are used for 6 steps that are used for curriculum development. I think
Yeah.
this is very easiest possible way that we can implement in an institution. Kern et al. Yeah, Dr. Asma, you are right. So first step is problem identification and general need assessment. How can you identify a problem and what is the need assessment? Basically, for this purpose, our curriculum committee and all the stakeholders, they make a validated questionnaire, a validated reliable feedback form, and they take that feedback from all stakeholders. So who can be the stakeholder in this case? First and foremost stakeholder, that is the medical student. Many times when I talk to my faculty members, I tell them that if you don't make a student responsible for his education, if you don't make the thing student centered, then he or she will never be interested and never be involved in the learning process, and the learning cannot be ended in a productive way. So first of the stakeholder are medical students, then the faculty members who are there to implement that curriculum. Healthcare professionals, definitely they are in the field, they know about the needs of entrepreneurship and what aspects should be covered in the curriculum. Healthcare administrators, entrepreneurs in healthcare, policy makers, definitely statutory bodies and policy bodies, they cannot be neglected. Healthcare industry partners, what they need and a doctor or healthcare professional entrepreneur be. Accreditation bodies, patient, and definitely patients are the big stakeholder. Patient safety is very is of prime importance in the last decades. It is a very hot topic for the discussion and for the implementation. So patients and patient advocacy groups, community leaders, and of course alumni, they can tell you better that what they faced, what challenges they faced in financial stability. They can tell you about the things they have gone through their career when they went into the field. So research institution, these are all stakeholders from where you take the feedback to develop your curriculum and to identify the problems and need assessment. So who can be the next step is targeted need assessment. Who are the targeted learner? Targeted learner are those students on which you are going to implement this curriculum. So targeted learner are the specific group of medical students or residents for whom the curriculum is being developed. How can be they not the part of that system or that process? direct educators and faculty members who are involved in specific area of curriculum, curriculum developers and instructional designer, subject matter expert. Definitely, if you are going to inculcate some legal issues, like in Pakistan, that there is a healthcare commission that advocate the complaints filed by doctors as well as the patients. If the students are not aware of the process, if the relevant person is not the part of the curriculum development, then how can you know about the problems that the future doctor will see? Curriculum development and instructional designers, subject matter experts, healthcare professionals who represent the future role of learner, and definitely first and foremost, the employers or healthcare institution that may hire your graduate. They are the persons from where you can explore the target need assessment. So goals and objectives is the third step of developing a curriculum. We have divided the goals into broader aim and long-term impact. Broader aim, what can be a broader aim? To equip medical student with a foundational knowledge and skill about the business or the mindset that is required for successful entrepreneurship within the landscape of healthcare industry. And long-term impact, what can be long-term impact? To foster a generation of healthcare professionals who can help stabilizing the economy of our country, the economy related to the healthcare sector, who are capable of innovating and leading and improving the healthcare delivery and patient care through entrepreneurial ventures. We have discussed about the goals. Now we will discuss about the objectives. There are three types of objective. You know about the cognitive objective, attitude, and psychomotor skills. We want to equip our students with the knowledge who will help the student to be a successful medical entrepreneur, to cope the unique challenges that he or she may be facing in their career as an entrepreneur. And we want to, one of the objective that is regarding the attitude, we will never ever try to foster a behavior that can be beyond the ethical boundaries, that can breach the professionalism. We will foster all those behaviors or attitude that can be in the frame of ethical boundaries. So we want to cultivate an entrepreneurial mindset that is resilient, creative, can take risk, but within the ethical consideration, and a patient-centered approach in business ventures, because our first and prime responsibility is to serve the humanity. And the skills, what are the skills? The skills required for the entrepreneurship is, first of foremost, is the teamwork, the collaborative and creative thinking power. So these are the skills, objectives of the skills. What can be the content that we should inculcate or integrate in the healthcare sector or medical education? First of all, the healthcare professional or a student must have a knowledge of entrepreneurship and healthcare innovation. He or she must know what are the business model, how to plan a business, and what strategies are required to flourish a business or a startup. So business planning and strategy, that should be included as a subject. Financial, if the student has no financial know-how, no knowledge of finances, how to manage the budget, and how to allocate the budget for the different for a spectrum of the processes in a startup, then he or she may fail in near future. So finance and funding for startup must be taught to the student. Marketing and branding in healthcare, I have already discussed that all the healthcare marketing is taken up by those who just know the marketing. They are non-technical person. If the marketing and branding of the healthcare products that is inculcated in integrated in their curriculum, then they will be a better version of entrepreneurs. Legal and ethical issues in healthcare entrepreneurship, I have already discussed that in Pakistan there is a healthcare commission that caters the complaints and the problems that are encountered in day-to-day life in Pakistan. So the students must know the laws related to the healthcare sector. Only join the JMHPE and learn about strategic planning and action planning. Thank you. That's written in chat box. If unprofessional education strategy, if used, will be better for the interprofessional collaboration. Fine, Dr. Asma. Technology and healthcare. I have again and again repeated that telemedicine is prevalent, telemedicine is trendy. We should tell our students that how they can collaborate with software industries for the with the IT regarding their entrepreneurial ventures in future. Technology and healthcare, these must be the subject that must be included in the curriculum. What could be the educational strategies? I liked small group teaching and large group teaching, role modeling, but one of the most fascinating strategy is hands-on practice program. If you don't train your student for the future endeavor, if you don't compel him or her for hands-on activity, then that idea cannot be transformed into a real life situation. So what can be hands-on practice program? Entrepreneurship clinic. This is not an expensive venture. I have explored all these things that can be cost effective, that cannot burden the institute for integration of entrepreneurship into medical education. What is entrepreneurship clinic? For example, your faculty members, like in ENT or I, he is an assistant professor, he or she is having her own clinic at some place in Egypt. He or she can take a group of students with her in her clinic, and they will see that how a clinic is managed daily, how the OPD is managed, how the record of patient is being taken, how the patients are communicated, how they are how the record is kept there. So there should be some attachment of students or cohort of a student with the already existing faculty. This will not burden up the institute. So these are entrepreneurship clinic or internship with healthcare setup. These should be the part of their curriculum, their assessment. They must provide the evidence of all these involvement in the all these projects, so that you can ensure that they have learned something with hands-on practice. So internship with healthcare startups and another thing, hackathons. You can motivate the students by hosting hackathons and guiding them to make some prototype project and prototype of products that they can launch in the future. And capstone projects are organized, they must be organized for the final year student. They must you must guide them for the for development of some easiest possible prototype products that they can launch into the market. There must be some hands-on activity for this capstone project as well. So what will be the benefit of this practice? Can you please let me know in the chat box? Yes, what is the purpose of doing of all these practices, and how will this empower the medical students for being a medical entrepreneur? I think I gain money very early. Fine. There is an elective module, so-called Economics of Medicine. Great. In Pakistan, some of the universities have integrated entrepreneurship into medicine as a longitudinal module, as I have told earlier. Benefit of this practice is that the thing or an act that a student has to perform in future when he or she is going to serve in a community as a solo person. What if she or he experienced the same practice during her graduation? He will be more successful. Medical students are better to launch medical application. Yeah, they are more tech savvy than us. Less burden on government. That's great, sir. This is how they can foster economic growth. So what you need to implement? Definitely, you need resources. First of all, you need curriculum framework. Then you need faculty and expert who know how to develop a curriculum. They must be having some training. You need to start some faculty development program for your faculty to make them expert. You need educational materials, technology infrastructure, partnership with organization who can help your student present the projects or prototype products. You need funding, at the end, evaluation and feedback mechanism. What are the implementation strategy? As we know that we never adopt a curriculum at first as a full project, fully implemented project. First, it is done, the piloting is done, and then we take feedback from the stakeholders that if the project should be taken as long-term project or we should stop it here. The second is faculty development. Definitely, you need to train your own faculty. Student engagement. You must use the technology and all the innovative learning, teaching and learning methodologies to engage the students. Resource allocation is very definite part of the implementation strategies. Collaborative learning environment and external partnership. I have already discussed that you need to partner with the organization where your student can go and learn for the cross industry collaboration. At the end of this whole exercise of developing a curriculum, you need to evaluate that curriculum. What is difference between technology, infrastructure, and educational material? There is a lot of difference between both of them, Dr. Hazim. Technology infrastructure means the internet, your apps, and the bandwidth, your subscription of many apps right now for teaching and learning, quizzes. So there is a difference between educational material. This technology infrastructure is to help out you to deliver the educational material, and educational material comprises of online learning resources, your books and library, and each and everything. So evaluation, how you evaluate? There are two ways to evaluate a program. One is to form, basically for the success of a program, you need to evaluate students as well as instructors, your curriculum, and a program as well as a whole. So for student, you need to assess them formatively and summatively, because we believe that our student never took any subject seriously if we don't integrate that subject in exam subject or assessment subject. If we are teaching them medicine in third year MBBS and we are not going to take the exam, they are never ever serious. They don't take the they don't participate in the class where we teach them medicine in third year MBBS if we are not going to assess them. So you need to have some formative as well as summative assessment. You can evaluate the instructor, you can take feedback from them, you can evaluate the curriculum as well, and the whole program. You can use some program evaluation model that like I personally like CIPP model, and you can use as some other. And then at the last, you have to take feedback that can be immediate feedback when you conduct the session, and structured feedback, stakeholders feedback, and feedback for continuous improvement, and most important, the alumni feedback, what they faced after getting graduated with the course, with the curriculum that you have implemented. Assessment
Dr.
drives learning.
Sadia, do you think we can add this as well to the students' projects?
Sir, I couldn't get your question. Can you repeat your question?
Do you think when we integrate this into the undergraduate curriculum,
Yeah.
do you think we can as well add this to the students' projects, the students' research projects, so they together in a group can plan their projects for entrepreneurship? Do you have an experience like this? Students
Sir,
project in this domain?
Sir, you just posed a very good idea. Basically, I didn't have experience this with medical graduate, but I have experience with allied healthcare professionals. I used to teach when I was a I basically I started my career as a histopathologist back in 2017. I used to teach students of medical lab technology, and I witnessed that those students, they worked in evening, they learned in morning, and they worked in evening. They got attachments in some labs, and at the end of their graduation, most of those students, they got jobs in those labs. And I witnessed that many of those students, they own their own labs right now, and they hire the pathologist at their labs. So I have not witnessed that project for medical students, but witnessed for the this project for the allied healthcare professionals.
Thank you. Thank you. I
And
think we can think of doing something like this together in our
inshallah,
ESME society.
inshallah, sir,
Inshallah.
hopefully.
Inshallah.
So I have shared some of the example that in Pakistan, Farooq Hospital and Akhtar Said Medical College, Akhtar Said Associates is one of the biggest name in Pakistan. They own two medical colleges in Lahore, one medical college they are planning in UAE, and they have one medical college at Islamabad, and 4 hospitals. And that healthcare sector is owned by some non-medic. They're the person who is the CEO of all these hospitals and medical colleges. He hired medical professionals, but he is not himself a medical doctor. And basically this is the VN that he got, and how he started from scratch and went till this peak of the business. This can be done by some healthcare professional, and there are many examples in world that healthcare professionals are doing in this sector. They are doing very best. One of the example was hospital disposable items in Pakistan. Latex glove distributors are Abina and Kosar distributor. Basically the idea is that we can perform well in product industry as well, but we don't think about that. If we talk about telemedicine in Pakistan, Marham and Oledoc, they are at very peak, and both of these projects are not owned by some healthcare professional. They are non-medics. If you talk about pharmaceutical industries, Adamji Pharmaceutical, Al Habib Group of Pharmaceutical, both of them are successful and owned by non-medics. Basically, healthcare professional can find or explore this niche as well. Zeven Solution is a digital platform, a leading provider of innovative digital solution for business. They are helping hospitals for the data management of their patients as well as their online consultation. The same is the Jalal Surgical. This is the industry that is providing the surgical instrument, and it is owned by not owned by healthcare professional. These are the niches where healthcare professional do wonder if they explore these niches. So I found some online platforms and some firms that are working in Egypt. Maybe you have heard about all these. Urology is providing online consultation about radiology. Vizeta, I think it is providing the telemedicine services. Udavi is maybe I am not pronouncing well, but this online platform is providing medicine. They are delivering medicine, and Smart Care is providing online services for children. We have experience at Benny Suf University with medical students launching the great. I think we should communicate with you in this regard if you have witnessed this. So, could you provide information on thriving healthcare enterprises in Egypt? I don't know much about that.
دكتور نانسي معلش لو حضرتك الهوست اعملي ميوت لكل المستمعين لو سمحت.
done Prof هالة done.
بليز.
Okay.
Do you know some thriving healthcare enterprises in Egypt? You can write in chat box. Okay, I would like to share Nile University Help Student. That's great. I came to know many Egyptian institute at this platform. I'm lucky enough to interact with you people. I have shared words from a very famous poet from subcontinent. His name is Allama Muhammad Iqbal. He wrote poetry in Persian as well as Urdu. Maybe you have heard about him. His verse is that I am reciting is this verse in Urdu, and I will share the English version of this verse as well. अपनी दुनिया आप पैदा कर अगर जिंदों में है, सिर्रे आदम है ज़मीरे कुन फिका है जिंदगी. Allama Iqbal says that create your own world if you seek to exist among the living. It means that if you are alive, you must create your own world. You don't have to be slave of some other person, of some organization, or of some corporate sector, of some capitalism. You can make your own world. So for the essence of Adam is conscience that animate existence. Allah Ta'ala has created human being Adam as a free man to practice the free will. So I believe that if you want to practice your free will, so you have to be entrepreneur. You are the autonomous body. You can decide whatever you want to do. So by concluding, I will conclude this session by the translation of this verse. Maybe you have understood what I have said. So now the house is open for a question answer session, and I'm really grateful and thankful that you have you had a patience to listen me for at least 1 hour. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sadia, for the clear, informative presentation. We are very delighted to have this with us. And just I want to ask you a question, please,
Yes,
before
ma'am.
starting. Okay, just before I said, please, there is a feedback link on the chat. So all the attendee, please fill the feedback link. Okay. Okay, it is on the chat, please. My question to you, Dr. Sadia, can we, we understood what's entrepreneurship now, and I think we are practicing it, but it's not formulated into a subject. I think we can put it as elective course. Do we have to put it in the curriculum or put it as elective course?
You posed a very intellectual question, Dr. Hala. I would like to share my opinion. Maybe you don't agree with this. I feel that now the corporate system is very strong in this era. In previously, the service was provided by a person and that was delivered to the public. Now the service is not directly provided to the public. If you are a healthcare professional, if you don't have assets, you don't have finances, you have to go for a job into an organization, you serve a hospital, and they don't pay you well, you are less paid. And you are basically you are making that system strong, but at the end you are not getting that things. This is because the things are changing so much early in a very speedy and very fast pace. So to make yourself comply with that pace, I think this is necessary that we should inculcate or integrate this entrepreneurship into medical education as a compulsory subject, because I see that in other domains of education, in other specialities, they usually send their students for hands-on projects, for hands-on practice, but we are maybe I don't know what is the reason, but this practice is prevalent all over the world, that we are not into the things, that we don't send our student early to the field. He or she experienced the field or the market when he or she experienced, he is not that apt or skillful at that time to cope the challenges of this capitalist system or corporate system.
Yes, okay, thank you. I'm confident with your response. Any question, please?
There is a question from Dr. Asma Abdel Nasser.
Yeah,
The
Uh,
question,
she
yeah,
thanks,
I,
Doctor.
Right.
yeah. I've read the question that how to introduce this topic entrepreneurship using vertical and horizontal integration in practical tips in undergraduate medical education. Dr. Asma, this is very beautiful question, and thank you for I'm really grateful for posing this question because the questions really provide opportunity for other audience to think about, or they cultivate some sort of brainstorming in other people as well, especially in what if one requirement is still unable to achieve, so how could we overcome. Okay, first I will answer Dr. Asma's question. I believe that if we inculcate the things from a simple point to the complex point, then we can integrate the entrepreneurship well in the system. Like in Pakistan, I am affiliated with the University of Health Sciences. We started an integrated modular curriculum last year. And what happened that in first year we didn't start the entrepreneurship in when now the students are in second year MBBS or in second professional year. So now we are planning to integrate the entrepreneurship in medical education. What we planned just with the basic things. We are not integrating all of these subjects into first year or second year MBBS curriculum right now. We are integrating these subjects by and by, starting from the basics to the complex. And if we think about the integrating the hands-on practice, the hands-on practice must be included at the end of this the professional years of the student, like fourth or final year student. Like we in Pakistan, we usually start research project in fourth year MBBS with community medicine. The same way, the students must be sent to the field, to the market for the cross industry collaboration in their fourth year or final year. Yeah, Professor Talat. I hope I have satisfied Dr. Asma.
Very much, Dr. Sadia. Actually, I enjoyed your speech very much. I think the theme is quite new to most of us, including myself. I have a comment rather than a question that in Egypt now we are encouraging the private sector over the governmental sector. That's why I think the concept of entrepreneurship is quite important now to be considered in undergraduate education, in all health professions education. This is from one point. The other point is that I think this also goes into the attitude that we always miss in the in developing our curriculum, because we will encourage a positive attitude in our undergraduate students related to entrepreneurship. So I think we can benefit much from all the ideas that you addressed in your lecture today. Thank you so much.
I'm really humbled. I'm really grateful to you for your kind words. I'm saying that I'm very novice in this field of medical education. You are my mentors. You are my role models, and I agree with you that you can set contemporary aspirations for the upcoming juniors and our medical students. We can be role model for them. We can inculcate the entrepreneurship in them. We can nurture the seed of entrepreneurship in them in the phase of their graduation, because when they are graduate, then they don't listen to us. They are autopilot at that time. Any question?
Okay, any question? Any question? Okay, please fill the feedback link in the chat box. And any questions? So it
There is a
remains with us. Yeah.
question from Dr. Hazim. I couldn't get that. What if one of the requirements is still unable to achieve? So how could we overcome that? Dr. Hazim, can you repeat, write your question elaborately in the chat box? I couldn't get that. What do you think of Rich Dad, Poor Dad? That will be a subjective opinion. I have read that, but I will not comment about that book right here in this at this platform, Dr. Kareem. That's all about money. The book is not about ethics and professionalism. We have to keep in our mind that we should be entrepreneur within the ethical and professional boundaries.
And here comes the attitude that I talked about earlier, right?
Yeah. I agree with you.
Okay, Dr. Hazim, you will rewrite your question, please, in the chat box.
Dr. Hazem said that he means entrepreneurship.
I mean, entrepreneurship is requirement to apply. Dr. Hazim, where it is requirement to apply? It will definitely enhance your portfolio if you tell about your experience of integration of entrepreneurship into the medical education during your graduation, or if you tell about if you start this venture in your medical curriculum right now, and your juniors, they may have a very better portfolio to project to the agency who is going to hire that person. So it's not, I think, mandatory requirement. What I got from your question, this is not requirement, but it will be a feather in your cap if your graduates are exposed to the entrepreneurship during their graduation. This is what I got from your question. Maybe I haven't understand that well. I'm really apologetic for the language barrier if I had with you, because my native language is Urdu. I may be not fluent at speaking English like you people, but I tried my best to convey the message and to discuss the topic relevantly. Dr. Turki has to
Hello.
say something. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Sadia, for this informative lecture. My conclusion is, with the development of the fourth generation universities, they adopt the entrepreneurship modules in their curriculum. How can you guarantee the balance between the high quality entrepreneurship and the ethical considerations?
Yeah, sir, professionalism can be judged by assessment. And we use 360-degree feedback of assessment for professionalism in Pakistan. We don't believe in MCQ, SCQ. The feedback is taken from all stakeholders about a medical graduate. So when you are going to inculcate this entrepreneurial skill in those students, we are telling them again and again about the ethical boundaries, about the professionalism, because the professionalism is something that in this era of capitalism, when everyone is striving for money, when the world is a global village, you see all those things that are not in the reach of a common person daily on the phone. At that time, the professionalism must be hammered again and again to cement the memory of a student that he is a healthcare professional, and his prime responsibility is the patient care and humanity. So you have to again and again repeatedly inculcate or integrate the professionalism along with the entrepreneurship. You can't teach entrepreneurship without teaching professionalism. And to keep the student within the professional boundary, or to make this attitude permanent, semantic, you have to take assessment, 360-degree assessment. And above all, you have to set some contemporary aspiration. I am telling again and again that you are the role models for those students. If we are involved in unethical practices and we are telling our juniors, our medical graduate, that you have to be a very good professional and entrepreneur, then he will tacitly learn the unethical practices more easily, because the devil attracts more easily rather than the good deeds. So this is my opinion about this.
Thank you, Dr. Sajja.
Is there any question? When applying entrepreneurship, we should also consider economic state of most of our patients, particularly when we know that some services are very expensive and sometimes are not available at private sector. I agree with your opinion. Is there entrepreneurship other than entrepreneurship? What are examples of their right? I have given many example, Dr. Hazim, many opportunities in this webinar that how we can do entrepreneurship. And I will discuss the comment of Dr. Mustafa that I conducted a study at Pakistan. The study was to explore the cost consciousness perspective of supervisors in clinical faculty. The purpose of that study was that Pakistan is an economically unstable country. At is economically unstable country, you can't go by the book, by the law, or by the knowledge what have written in the books. If you are going to prescribe a diagnostic modality to a student, you must consider the financial status of that patient. If you are just enlisting a lot of diagnostic modalities and treatment that a patient can't afford, you must choose wisely the perfect and cost effective thing. This is the idea of cost consciousness, perception of cost consciousness in clinical supervisors. That do they know what is the cost consciousness or cost effectiveness, and how they are inculcating this cost consciousness and cost effectiveness into their trainees. If this is the mindset of the trainee, then he or she will judicially wisely select the diagnostic modality that will not burden up the healthcare sector, because in Pakistan there is no healthcare insurance system. Prime Minister Imran Khan started that insurance system, but by the change of the government, the policy was all also changed.
Thank you, Dr. Rashad.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Dr. Sadia, can we address entrepreneurship in the undergraduate curriculum in the framework of teamwork competence rather than to be something individual?
Projects.
Definitely, first of all, at the level of medical students, I agree with you that this must be a teamwork. This must be a team project, like we do in the research. Research is not a game played by only single person. You have to divide the task between the different person who have more competency in data collection. He will do the data collection procedure. The person who is better in writing the content, he may write the manuscript and other things. The same way, I agree with you, sir, that it must be a project work, and the students must do it in the teams. This way, they will learn the teamwork as well as the collaborative effort and the leadership skills.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Asma. Yeah, interprofessional teams. It's a better way. I agree with you that it's another innovative idea that if we do this project as an interprofessional team, because we know that never ever it happened that a surgeon went into the operation theater and he did everything by himself. He need an operation theater assistant. He need a nurse. He need other personnel there to assist him. He can't do anything by himself. So this can be an interprofessional venture as well. Any question?
Okay, last, I think we have to clap hands and say thank you very much, Dr. Sadia, for the excellent presentation and the interactive webinar. And thanks for all attendees, and please fill on the feedback. Thanks, Dr. Wagdi, for your attendance, and Professor Hamdi Hussein for this opportunity. And many thanks to Dr. Sadia and all attendees. Thank you very
Dr.
much.
Dr.
Yeah.
Hala, we shouldn't forget the group photo. So if we can all open our camera and
Okay.
be ready for a group photo, please.
Dr.
Thanks
Nancy.
for reminding, sir. Thanks for reminding.
Okay, Dr.
You never
Dr.
forget
Nancy.
this. I
No, I
noticed
don't.
that
I
you
never
never forget this.
that. Documentation.
Yeah,
Documentation.
that's a
Important.
proof.
Please, Dr.
Okay.
Sadia, if you don't mind, please stop your sharing.
Okay.
I invite
How could
Dr. Hamdi Hussein to open his camera as well. Okay.
Just fine.
Professor Hamdi.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Thank you very much for this amazing presentation, and hope
Thank you, sir.
to be
Thank you.
frequent by the day by Dr. Talat
Thank you so much.
to invite your amazing attendance and your experience for international, for invite Zoom meeting again every now and then, and Ramadan is coming.
Yes.
Inshallah. Happy
And
Ramadan, everyone.
thank you, Professor Hamdi, for inviting all of us to this very prestigious conference.
Thank you very
Of
much. Thank you.
Luxor University.
I'm
Thank you.
grateful. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations
Okay,
for
so-
the conference, Dr. Hamdi.
Thank you very much.
So are we all ready now for the group photo?
Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Hala, who will take
Dr.
the
Dr.
shot?
Nancy.
Yes, I took
دكتور نانسي. اوكي، ومعانا دكتور عبد الرحيم شرح نائب رئيس جامعة بنها، مشرفنا يعني بالحضور
أهلا
اونلاين.
وسهلا. أهلا وسهلا.
دكتور عبد الرحيم.
أهلا وسهلا.
ازي
Thank
حضرتك؟
you to all of us. Yes.
الله يخليك. معانا
وشكرا دكتورة
يا
هالة،
دكتور.
كتر ألف خيرك، والدكتور
الله
طبعا
يخليك.
وجدي أستاذنا كلنا
اهلا
منور
وسهلا يا فندم.
ودكتور
اهلا
حمدي
وسهلا
حسين رئيس
بشرفنا.
جامعة
طبعا رئيس
الأقصر.
الأقصر،
طبعا.
يعني أستاذنا وحبيبنا وأخ
حبيبي.
عزيز، وإحنا هنسعد بوجودنا إن شاء الله في المؤتمر عنده
إن
ان
شاء
يعني.
شاء
الله
الله
نتقابل
دكتور
على
شلح
خير.
الدكتور شلح من الناس
نتفاوض.
اللي فالويت الكلية يعني.
يا
أيوة.
فندم ربنا يخليك، ربنا يخليك يا معالي الرئيس، إن شاء الله دايما كده كلية طب الأقصر وجامعة الأقصر في تقدم بوجود معاليك إن شاء الله يا فندم.
ربنا يديك الصحة والعافية، كل سنة وانتم
ربنا
طيبين جميعا.
وأنت بألف خير يا معالي الرئيس.
خلاص دكتور نانسي.
Yes, Dr. Hale.
اوكي، شكرا جزيلا. كرر شكري معالي رئيس جامعة الأقصر أستاذ بروفيسور دكتور حمدي حسين، وبروفيسور دكتور وجدي طلعت، ودكتور سادية ياسين، ولكل حضور اللي شرفونا، وعلى رأسهم الدكتور عبد الرحيم شولح ودكتور مصطفى وكل زملائي وزميلاتي. وإن شاء الله يكون ويبينار مفيد ونتقابل على خير. Thank you very much, Dr. Sadia. Inshallah, we
Thank you.
will meet
I'm
again.
grateful. Thank you
Okay.
so much, everyone. Allah Hafiz.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Sadia.
Allah
Thank
Hafiz.
you,
Thank you
Professor
so
Hala.
much.
شكرا جزيلا.
شكرا.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Hamdi and Dr. Talat. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Take care.
السلام عليكم.
عليكم
السلام
وعليكم
عليكم.
السلام.
عليكم السلام.
وعليكم السلام.